Well, it's difficult only if you forget it.
It can be easy to misroute that and forget to grab power bombs before you go down, and
Oh,
then
absolutely.
you're faced with that horrible choice of do you go through killing Croc just to get the power bomb so you don't have to come back down, or yeah.
So let's talk about what each of these guys needs to do. Kip needs to get Screw Attack, collect all 60 Brinstar missiles, which I think is the worst area missile collection. Get that Norfair map station, collect Plasma Beam, which is going to force a little bit of lower Norfair and a lot of Meridia, and 10 plus power bombs.
Hmm.
Derp, on the other hand, 4 energy tanks and 15 power bombs. Norfair map station, fully explore the wrecked ship. And you and I were talking about that before we went on the air, and that's a maybe a little bit of an underrated tile. It's kind of a nasty one.
Yeah, it
Collect
takes
three.
longer than you
Yeah.
think because the wreck ship is a very small area, but there's a lot of robots in the way. There's a lot of routing around, and it's generally just very annoying.
He'll have to collect Spring Ball and skip Ice Beam, which most likely means he'll be forced to kill Croc and get Grapple Beam. And he'll have to finish in the Metal Pirate Room, which locks out a few things since we have a second finish tile in Mama Turtle Room. So it locks out a row and a column, and also forces a much deeper dip into Lower North Arena. And with that Spring Ball, a fairly deep dip into Meridia. So neither one of these rows or columns are nice ones. I think we talked about each one of them briefly. Should be interesting to see what they pair up.
Yeah, and the collect spring ball and skip ice beam likely means that Derp will be getting grapple
Yep.
as well, unless he's going to do the crystal flash clip. So routing down through Croc to get grapple is also not very fast, and he will not be able to combine that with row three, as you said, because he has to finish in Middle Pirate Room.
All right. So we should talk briefly about what double anti bingo is. We may have some new people tuning in since this is after all the finals. So double anti bingo. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So I think we're all familiar with the very famous bingo game. Try to get five in a row, either row, column, or diagonal. So what the anti-bingo means in this case is that your opponent has chosen a forced row that you must complete. So those are the rows marked by the green and purple arrow on your screen. And then double, you have to additionally do a second row in conjunction with your opponent's forced row. So what this does is it forces the runners to both try to identify a hard row for their opponent that doesn't pair well with anything else on the board, and also try to find a good row to pair with the one they were forced, and route all of that together, all without really any breaks in the game. So they're looking through the card right now, trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out what row, column, or diagonal they can pair with their force row to get done the fastest. They do not need to finish the game. We will not be seeing Turian. We definitely will not be seeing Turian this time because we don't even have visit the critters, which is the only tile that could really justifiably finish the game. It generally takes around 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes for a dab race, and we'll see who can get two rows the fastest.
No, but we will, however, definitely be seeing some Dragon action because that plasma beam is often thought of as a euphemism for kill Dragon, and but we don't likely. I don't expect we'll see Ridley. In fact, we definitely won't see Ridley. Questionable whether we'll see any crate action or not, but because I suspect we're going to see some wreck shipped action, and we might just see early wreck ship from both these guys.
Yeah, unless Derp wants to pick up the crate E tank to get his fourth E tank, since he's down there, Metal Pirates. That's the only kind of real possibility I could see for going to kill it. But there's much easier E tanks for him to pick up that are completely on the way. So it would be a little bit of a masochistic play to decide to kill Ridley
It'd be a
just for
little bit
fun.
strange.
We get to see the two variations of the climb here. The two main variations: the right side wall jump and the behemoth slash Kipp. I'm going to call it the Kipp climb, even though there's another name who is slipping my mind. I really should
Just defend
find
is who you're
just
thinking of.
defend. Thank you. Yeah, just defend climb. Yeah, I do think when Kipp picked this row, and I could be wrong because I'm not in Kipp's head, but I do think when Kipp picked this row, his intention was that it would probably cause Derp to go to grapple. But if Derp is willing to do the Crystal Flash clip, then that may make that route quite a bit faster.
So looking like Derp's thinking about either column 4 or row 4 because he just picked up that criteria map station. I'm gonna guess column 4, but I don't know that for sure.
He could also be doing, well, top left, bottom right would not be a very wise
Right,
choice,
it's
in my
on that would
opinion.
be on the diagonal. Yeah, adding that 60 Brinstar missiles to what you're already doing seems kind of odd unless you have like one of those really high level 125 missiles or something where you're picking up a bunch anyway.
Yeah. Kipp, on the other hand, will already be collecting those 60 Brinstar missiles, so we'll get to see all those locations that you missed when you were a kid. Yeah, that's true. Derp cannot do column 4 because that has a
Oh,
finished tile. So
good point.
if
He'd be doing row 4.
it's likely doing row 4, generally means he'll be doing wreck ship first, picking up gravity, and the rest of that row is actually pretty free for him. He has to fully explore wreck ship, so he may as well pick up the supers, and he can just skip wave or skip speed booster if he really wants to
Yeah,
get
that's
wave for
true.
some
And
reason.
actually, I should have been saying row 4 to begin with because I always like to, you don't see a lot of runners do 2 columns or 2 rows. It's not unheard of, but it's nice to be able to have one less square to do and and double it up that way.
Oh no, I've told Derp what his route should be. Crap. Derp is cosmic brain. He's probably routing something much faster than that already.
If Derp has to rely on us to route, then he's in trouble.
That's true. Kipp, on the other hand, well, he does need to get plasma, so he will be getting gravity. Although he's not forced to go wreck ship first, and he does need to go down all the way to Kraid to get one of the Brinstar missiles. So we'll see what he decides to do.
It's going to be interesting. The one thing I'll say about this is I know Kip likes to go wreck ship first if he can, but one option for him would be to get Various Suit, go down to Lower Norfair, get that screw attack, and leave, and then go up to the wreck ship. So we'll see if he
But then he
elects to
can't
do
do
that.
row 4 unless he's going to skip gravity, which would make collecting spring balls super hard.
Right. So that would lock row 4 out for Kip. Although I don't know if that's what he was thinking of doing anyway. Column 5 would also lock out column 5, which would possibly be a good one. If you were to choose just to get that gravity suit. Collect both Meridian E-tanks isn't too bad. He's already getting the 10 plus power bombs. That's not a hard one anyway. And he's going to be doing a Brinstar cleanup for all those missiles, so picking up the Brinstar super missiles wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, the only super missile that's not by missiles, I guess Spore Spawn Super's not really, and Edekun Super isn't, but they're not too far out of the way. I do not think Kipp is doing column 1. In fact, I don't think either runner is going to do column 1 since they both picked up
column
charge
1,
beam.
no row 5. Yeah, that skip charge beam one is not preferred in general. I mean, it's not as big a deal if you don't have to kill Ridley, because there's lots of ways to kill those other bosses, but, it's that charge beam is also a safety for Phantoon if you accidentally enrage him, so having that charge beam is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's also nice for bot wound, so you can prevent ever soft locking there or worrying about ammo.
Yep, absolutely. Derp's going up.
Ooh. Didn't get the hero shot, but is gonna, I think, get up here with looking out for Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, and Raphael. Kipp, as expected,
Kipp also
is also
going up.
going up.
Yeah, this isn't a surprise.
Given the rows that they're doing and what they're pairing with, it's not a surprise at all. Gonna have a nice high five there, right by the slugs. I mean the slug frogs.
Kipp smartly picking up these missiles now. You don't want to forget them.
Yeah, derp is skipping the second power bombs. He has, I guess, other power bombs in mind for his 15 plus. There are other colors technically we could use for the ones that are excluded, but it ends up getting very messy with two different runners who can exclude different things.
Yeah, since they're not forced the same row, column, or diagonal, that becomes very difficult to try and mark anything else in any meaningful way. And Derp failing on his first try over the moat.
That first jump by Kipp looks good.
Looks good.
Meanwhile, Derp gets a nice horizontal bomb jump.
Oh, first try on the
Wow.
CWJ for Kipp. Nicely done.
We got both runners over moat on their way to Fantoon.
So let's see if Derp remembers to go check out those so-called spooky missiles. This is a nasty place to skip. Yeah, there he goes. This is important to do this now because those spikes will be activated once Fantoon is defeated. And then it becomes kind of Spiky Room of Death Part 2. It's a very dangerous room when it's activated.
Yep, absolutely. They are the dangerous version of those spikes, by the way. The ones that do a lot of damage without Varia. And Derp is also visiting the wreck ship map station. I'm not entirely sure why. Is that even on the card?
He fully explores the wreck ship.
He has to fully explore the wreck ship. Ah, haha.
That includes the map station.
Aha, that is correct. I know this game.
Yeah, so the interesting question, of course, is always, does he go and get to the E-tank before or after he gets Gravity Suit? My opinion is go wait till after you get Gravity Suit. It's safer, it's easier. Whereas going before, you have to do a tricky bomb jump to get up there since there's no high jump boots, no speed booster. And Kipp already done with Fantoon.
Yeah, very nice 2-round. And I bet he's wishing right now. He's like, why can't I just get 35 missiles before Fantoon and New Route?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the wreck ship E-tank, I think unless you're very comfortable with the sponge bath bomb jump, like you're confident you can get it within the first couple of tries, I think you're better off going to get Gravity first. Because it doesn't take that much time to run back down there.
No, and it's so much quicker with Gravity Suit since you've got water in that area, and even just the jumps over to the E-tank are a little tricky without Gravity Suit.
Yep, it is faster and safer if you've grabbed Gravity already. But Derp is an all-star Cosmic Brain runner, so we'll see what he decides to do. He doesn't play by the rules.
Kipp, on the other hand, is just going to beeline it straight for Gravity Suit. He doesn't need all that other stuff.
Yep. He's also not picking up the wreck ship supers, as kind of expected. He doesn't need to explore, doesn't need the supers for any tile. He's just going to go grab his Gravity and get out. And Derp remembering to explore this right side super area.
Yeah, and in Kipp's case, I mean, there is the collect 10 wreck ship super missiles, but we already know he's not doing column 1 because he's already picked up that charge beam. And row 4 doesn't make a whole lot of sense either, forcing yourself to go to spring ball.
Yeah, Kipp going into it's going to be going into bowling with plenty of health. He can take 3 hits from the spikes and still be fine. This is a generally very scary place without Varia. He's got nice health, though, coming through.
Yeah, making sure you have above 180. Those spikes deal 60 damage. Obviously, he would have been fine if he hadn't gotten above 180, but it's just that extra little bit of safety that really doesn't take much to get that energy up so you don't have to think about it quite as much. Derp taking the save, and looks like he's going to head over to the E-Tank now.
I will not be surprised at all to see Derp get this very quickly.
Ooh, almost had it there. Kipp, meanwhile, picking up that gravity suit.
See, that's about 5th try. So I think he's time-wise. I think I don't know the exact difference, but it's going to be pretty close to go get this now, as opposed to later, if you can get it that quickly.
Fortunately, he does have full health. I suspect he will pick up the E-Tank. Fortunately for him, if he doesn't pick it up, it's not going to hurt him in terms of the bingo card itself. But that extra energy would have been nice. Ooh, he fell. I don't know. Maybe he's not going to pick... Oh, he may now have to. We'll see.
Well, he has to go back over there anyway, because he didn't get all the tiles yet.
No, he didn't. And Kipp gonna head towards his Brinstar cleanup to get all those missiles that he needs to get. Okay, this time Derp gets there just fine. Now has plenty of energy to get out.
This E-Tank brought to you by the letters BLANT.
And these spikes aren't nearly as dangerous, and the fish that he super missiled are a lot more dangerous, so very smart that he decides to go ahead and kill that fish so he doesn't have to worry about it.
One thing you may have noticed, if you're not super familiar with the game, is Derp crouched there before jumping up to the door. If you crouch before you jump, you actually get a little bit more height on your jump. And you can also shrink Samus's hitbox by pressing down and doing what we call down grabbing when you get to the ledge. That allows you to get a little bit more height and get through a little bit more areas without gravity that normally, if it's just a standard jump, you wouldn't make.
Okay, Kipp picking up these super missiles. Looks like that, so we saw in column 5, we have to collect all 15 Brinstar super missiles, so that may be the indication of what he does plan to do.
Yep, I think that's a pretty good possibility. I'm not seeing a lot of other options for him, especially since he didn't fully explore Wreck Ship. That eliminates 4 possibilities right there.
And that'll give him 20 super missiles for the green gate glitch to get to that screw attack, and that should be more than enough for him. But we'll know for sure in just a second, because right now he would want to do the backdoor spore spawn super missiles to finish that tile.
Yeah, and Derp is making his way through Attic, getting through. He's going to be able to go through the spikes with an extra E-Tank that he picked up, which is a nice safety.
And Kipp first try on the spore spawn skip. The way you know that you've gotten that is the room will shake if you get into that right position and fire off that super missile. If the room doesn't shake, you didn't hit the block.
Very nice jump morse by Derp to avoid having to bomb jump or get up around those things any other way. Now, this section outside of Wreck Ship is actually part of Criteria, so Derp does not have to fully explore that in any way.
Oh, thankfully. Can you imagine? Especially with just bombs. That would be awful.
God. Nobody would ever fully explore Wreck Ship without like speed or anything.
Yeah. Okay, Kipp gonna head over to the Billy Mays missiles.
He's got to be careful. Well, he's got gravity. I guess these guys aren't too bad. And you can just roll back and forth under those grasshoppers.
And he's gonna kill this last side hopper to open that door so he doesn't have to do it again when he comes back through.
There's Kipp's 10th power bomb as well. Required by his 4-stroke and likely
smart.
his
Yeah, very smart that he remembered Remember to do that power bomb instead of maybe picking up one of the earlier ones, since that one was right on his way.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mr. Broadstone making a very good point. So it was Kipp that sent Derp to the losers bracket in the first place. So this is effectively a best 2 out of 3 with Kipp up 1 game to none.
Mhm. Yeah, Derp beat Farrell in the losers bracket finals to get a second chance at Kipp.
Also, Kipp doing a very nice job doing the D boost that you normally only see in randomizer, since he doesn't have his high jump boots yet.
And Derp has picked up every map square except the gravity square and Reg Ship. Unless I...
Yep.
Yeah, he's double checking it. Looks good. Thumbs up, Derp.
Double checking it and proving to us that he's done it, so. Kipp almost done with his missiles. He has to get one more after this area, since he does need to pick up the missiles in the Kraid area. That'll be the only thing I suspect he'll do in Kraid. There's no reason for him to actually kill Kraid.
He also has to get the Old Mother Brain missiles. No, wait, those are criteria.
No, that's criteria.
He should get them anyway because they're useful.
Okay, let's see where Derp heads next.
I expect Derp is heading to Meridia. Actually, Derp doesn't need to go very far into Meridia.
He needs to get something to get into Spring Ball first.
He does need to get something to get into Spring Ball. It doesn't appear that something is going to be power bombs, since he's not picking up those beta power bombs, which is pretty close on the way.
Yeah.
Like, so I could see him picking up the Meridia power bombs, but he still would need one more if he's going to Crystal Flash.
Yeah, so I'm guessing one of the thought processes that Kipp had when he assigned this column, if you look at what Derp has to do, he has to go down to Crocomire if he's going to get that grapple beam. Go all the way down pretty much as low as you can go, because that grapple beam is... I actually think that room before it may actually be lower than Lower Norfair. If it's not lower, it's certainly close. Then he has to go all the way back up to get that to get that spring ball, and then has to go all the way back to Lower Norfair to finish the Metal Pirate Room. So that's a lot of backtracking that we're going to see.
Yeah, I know we say you can Crystal Flash clip, but that's not an easy trick that many people would rely on. So
No.
I think for most people, that's a collect grapple.
There are a few people I know that are pretty darn good at that one. I don't know what Derp's comfort level is in that. And Derp remembering to pick up that Norfair map station.
Yep, and Kipp remembering to get his last Brinstar missile.
Yeah, and Belsar pointing out in chat the other way to get up, legal way to get up with the X-ray climb. If you're good at X-ray climb, it'd be debatable whether that would be quicker if you're good at getting X-ray and good at the X-ray climb.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good enough to do either of those things. So
no.
It would not be faster for me.
Yeah, same here. Unfortunately for us, everybody gets to jump high in this seed. No skip high jump boots.
Yep, and I expect Kipp will be picking those up. He does need a power bomb to get the Norfair map station yet, which isn't his required row.
Yeah, I think Kipp's gonna go do screw attack before plasma, so he should come back here and have plenty of power bombs by then. Interesting that Kipp chooses not to pick up that E-tank.
I mean, I think 3 E-tanks is a standard any percent loadout, and he's not going to be doing Ridley, so there's nothing really threatening. He's also will likely pick up both Meridia energy tanks as well, so he'll be getting
Yeah,
some more.
the one reason he would consider picking that up, he is gonna have to do a gravity jump into Lower Norfair, but Kipp runs low percent ice, so I should see no reason why he'd have any trouble with that gravity jump. But he will take a little more damage having no various suit. Yeah, both runners picking up speed booster. Uh, Neither one needs it. Neither one has to avoid it. It's one of those things where it's probably just faster to pick it up because you can, well, just go faster, especially going through Meridia. Going through Meridia without speed booster is kind of a pain. Actually, it is a pain. It's not kind of at all. It's looks like Derp's heading down to Crocomire.
Yeah, Derp is 3 goals away. Kipp is 4 goals away. So both runners have to do Meridia and Lower Norfair still. Derp a little bit deeper into Lower Norfair, Kipp a little bit deeper into Meridia. Actually, all the way into Meridia.
Yeah, all the way to that plasma beam.
I believe Derp has 5 power bombs. I don't believe he's picked up a second pack yet. He did not get beta unless I missed it.
I don't think he's probably going to pick up the Croc power bombs here, and
Yeah.
probably power bombs of shame are probably the most on his route. I think.
Yeah, I suppose he doesn't need to go through the pit in Meridia, so I don't think he'd route that in.
Okay, Kipp going to do his gravity jump here. The idea here is you get a faster jump at the beginning with gravity suit, a faster jump at the end without. So he's going to jump up. Looks like he got a really good jump there. Turns it back on before he even gets up to do the wall jump, which is fine. Saves a little bit of damage there.
Didn't even lose 100 health doing that, which is really impressive. Because without Varia, you're taking both, lava damage and heat damage in that room.
Yeah, and I always like to mention, so when you do that, you want to pause first, then jump. The later you jump, the higher you get.
Yes. Yeah, he needs Croc in order to grapple in order to get to power bomb. In order to get to spring ball.
First try on the gate glitch. Nice job, Kipp. And Kipp picking up his screw attack. Takes the refill. And you'll get to see something we don't see very often, and you pretty much never see it in the vanilla game when you're running any kind of route. We're going to see the reverse lava dive. Oh, it's not really a lava dive.
Not really, because he has
it's
gravity.
Not really, yeah. I was gonna say, he's got gravity, so it's not really a lava dive. But you don't really see this room in reverse very often.
Yeah, you see it in Mini Boss RTA. Is one of the few ones where you will see it.
And the full RBMBO, where you start with the reverse boss order that starts with Mother Brain. And you occasionally see it with runners that are playing casually and can't find the exit.
I do have a friend who played through Super Metroid for the first time, and that is how he got out of Lower Norfair, which I thought was hilarious.
It does happen.
Yeah, this is a very close race. Kipp has now to get out of Norfair and basically do all of Meridia. Dragon, grab a couple of Meridia energy tanks, and then get to Plasma. Derp needs to just grab Spring Ball. Doesn't need to go any deeper into Meridia, and then come back and finish at Metal Pirate Room. Also pick up a power bomb pack somewhere, which PB's a shame is likely where he's going to do that.
Looks like Derp's gonna head over and get that spring ball now. Hopefully Kipp remembers to pick up that Norfair map station this time, now that he has some power bombs to do it with.
He does have power bombs selected already, so I think that's on his
He's got
mind.
it, yep, on his mind.
The other good news is it's actually not that much of a backtrack from Plasma to come back here, so it wouldn't have been too big of a time loss.
Definitely would have been a time loss for sure.
Sure, it would have been about I think about a minute and a half from Plasma back to Business Center.
And Derp showing off the worst physics in the game with the sand physics.
I hate these sand physics. It's
Oh,
like you
it's
randomly
terrible.
jump upwards while you're going down, and I
Yep.
can't figure out why. He's also going to have to do this jump. Well, not this jump, but he's going to have to grapple that block and then jump up, which is not easy. It's weird sand physics there, too, where you have to jump right at the top of the sand in order to get up through that hole.
This is one place where space jump really is easier to use. But it's not too bad with high jump. It's when you don't have high jump or space jump that it gets really hard.
Yeah, and Derp gets it right away, showing that I really have no idea what I'm doing in Super Metroid.
Kipp picking up his first Meridia E-Tank. And Derp getting to take a little bit of a break as he waits out Shack Tool. I don't know who's ahead. A lot's going to depend on how well Kipp does on his Dragon fight. Kipp is very adept at his Dragon fights, but Dragon sometimes is just Dragon and does weird things, so...
Yeah, and Derp will have, a lot of Lower Norfair to get through. He doesn't have the general old route kit, right? No plasma, no ice, no wave. So things like worst room in the game are going to be a little bit different there.
Yep.
So people have Spring Ball though, which will more than make up for all of those things.
Oh, Spring Ball's a great item. It's just too bad it's locked away so far. Maybe the best reason to play a randomizer is you get to play with Spring Ball more often. Okay, Kipp ready for Batwoon?
We'll see if Derp decides to kill Shack Tool here. Nope.
Kipp just getting the one round. Nicely done.
Yeah, the one round without X factors using just ammo is pretty tough, so nicely done.
And since Kipp looks like at this point, there's no doubt he's decided to do column 5. He can't pick up Wave Beam to do those X factors, so no choice but to use Super Missiles.
I do, Beltstar, I do love the Spring Ball across moat in Rando. I do it sometimes even if I have speed.
Okay, Kipp heading into his Dragon fight now.
Casual full halfie from Kipp, by the way.
Okay, Kipp gonna use Speed Booster strats for this. Essentially doing any percent strats.
Although without the X factor, it's gonna be missing. Oh, and goops into the ceiling.
Gonna supplement with some ammo.
There's a nice spark through Dragon. Derp is picking up some power bombs, I think, possibly just to confirm that he has 10. Make sure he didn't forget to pick up a second power bomb pack. And there's Dragon dead for Kipp. He's gonna, nice spark suit too.
Yeah, converts that blue suit.
I think he'll likely pick up Space Jump, just because it's. Oh, I lied. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he may have decided not to pick up that Space Jump because he did get the spark suit.
That's true.
So it may very well, at this point, with that very nice Dragon fight from Kipp, I would say he is in the lead. But it's hard to say for sure. There's still a little bit of trickiness going through this cack alley.
Really
Very nice.
lava spark there. That's going to actually save him a lot of time too. But Kipp has about 4 rooms. I can't count in my head. 4 or 5 rooms to go through here. Derp has amphitheater, the
Worst
key
room.
hunters, wasteland, worst room, fast pillars, and then he will be done as well. And he also has to pick up power bombs. Shame. I think Kipp is going to edge us, but I think they're both going to be sub 40 times for both of these runners. I think it's a pretty safe bet that Kipp's is going to be sub 40. Let me hedge my bets there. Unless he forgets to go right in this one right here.
That'd be rough. And there it is. Kipp finishing up with an official SRL time of 35:52. GG to Kipp.
Awesome. Congratulations, Kipp, on winning DAB. The master of the universe, of the DAB universe at least. Nicely done. Derp looks like he's going to finish out. I don't blame him. Derp had a fantastic tournament as well.
Absolutely fantastic.
Both of these runners, I've just been super impressed with all of their choices throughout the tournament, and a lot of their routing.
In the end, I think just the power of the amount of backtracking that Derp had to do to get that grapple beam to go back up to Spring Ball and then to go all the way back down to the Metal Pirate Room. I think that was the difference here.
Yep, absolutely.
Derp just needs to pick up these power bombs. At this point, he's like, let's just get down there. I don't care about my energy.
Yeah, there's no reason to worry about it. He's got plenty to get through those grasshoppers.
And there it is.
And Derp has finished with an official SRL time of 37:21. Fantastic race. Commenting in SRL that Kipp please too fast, and Kipp please too fast indeed. We are joined now by the champion of the DAB tournament, Kipp.
Congratulations.
GG, nicely done.
Hey guys, thank you very much. How's it going?
Going great.
Great. That was a fantastic race to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. I feel like I played pretty well tonight, actually. There were a few places where I, made a couple mistakes, but I didn't really do anything, super terrible that put me in any kind of danger. So yeah, I feel really good to win the tournament, man. Pretty.
Yeah, it was very clean runs by both runners. Like there were no, major mistakes that I saw at all. And we were also joined by Derp, who finished shortly after Kipp. Derp, GG, nicely done. Congratulations on second place in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm actually really even though I didn't end up beating Kipp, I'm really happy with how I did this race. I got a lot of things I did not expect to get as quickly as I did.
Yeah, nice lava spark.
Thanks.
Yeah, you want to share have we shared that comment? Apparently it's the first time you've ever gotten it, so congratulations.
I've never practiced it. I completely YOLO'd it, and it worked out, I guess.
That's just
but it wasn't enough to beat Kipp.
Raw natural prodigy talent right there.
Yeah, GG Derp, man. It was cool to get to race you again, man, and congratulations. Second place is definitely really cool. So this is the first time I've been in the top 2. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That was not meant to be like a humble brag. This is the second time I've been in the top 2, but it's definitely cool, man. So GG.
Yeah, GG to you. You're good. You're very good.
So
accurate statement. You're both very good.
Absolutely. So Kanishi, you talk about your thought process on the row and columns that you chose for each other?
Yeah, Derp, I'll let you start because it was between the one that I gave you and the one you gave me in terms of which one I wanted to pick. So you can go ahead and explain your point.
So I didn't really like column 3. I didn't want to give it. I was looking between row 2 and row 4 actually, and I picked or not, what did I say? I picked row 2 because it forced Meridia, it forced lower Norfair, and it forced a Brinstar cleanup. So that was why I picked that.
Yeah, I think the one that you gave me was really strong. I hate collecting 60 Brinstar missiles. That's the worst part, actually, of that whole row. Possibly the worst tile on the this particular card. But yeah, I went with column 3 because I knew that exploring the wrecked ship was going to take a while. Plus, like, you actually have to think really hard. It's going to be kind of weird, but sometimes I like to assign things that I think are going to be mentally taxing. So it's actually really easy to mess up, explore the wrecked ship. So that was part of the reason I selected it. Then collecting Spring Ball without ice meant that Derp had to go all the way down to kill Croc, get the grapple beam, go back, go all the way to Spring Ball, and then exit, which is actually kind of far with the finish in Metal Pirate Room. So I just felt like there was enough challenge in there to warrant it. I didn't actually look very carefully as to what all could go with it, and I think he did an excellent job of picking his pairing row. So yeah, it turned out to be a really, really fun match.
Yeah, row 4 paired really well with column 3, but it forced me to do ship first basically, so I had to do the double Norfair dip. But I don't think there was a better. There might be a better one that I'm not seeing right now, but I'm really happy with how I routed that.
Yeah, I think you played great. You played great.
Are you guys saying that the Norfair map station square didn't factor into your thinking?
Wait, which one?
Norfair map station? I thought maybe
Dude,
that was...
It factored into mine. I was worried I was going to skip it. In practice
we were worried too.
I have skipped that one 3 times, okay? And then, to make matters worse, like, this is going to sound crazy, but I, like, messed up my powerbomb count. Like, I wasn't thinking correctly. And when I got to Kraid Missiles, I was like, oh my God, I've got to use my last one. That means I'm going to have to get the map station on the way out. And I just knew I was going to forget. And I was going to be in Plasma Beam and then, like, realize I didn't get it. So, literally,
we were a little concerned about that.
from the point that I got Screw Attack until I got to the map station, in my brain I kept repeating, get the map station, get the map station. So it was, that one can be tricky sometimes.
I did see you pre-select power bombs as you were going through Frog Speedway there.
You are correct. I did that on purpose.
And also, by the way, nice first try on the green gate glitch just to get down there. That was very well done. Yeah,
I got a shout out to RBO because that's what I've been running lately. And so that was something I'd been practicing for RBO. So, and I kind of got lucky, to be honest with you, because I have not been practicing Fantune first categories in quite a while, and getting that CWJ was like a huge relief.
Oh right, yeah, first try on the CWJ too. That was beautiful.
Yeah, there were a lot of first tries in this run. We got first try Lava Spark, first try CWJ from Kipp, first try Green Gate Glitch.
Also, that Fantune fight, I looked away and you were done. I looked over to Derp screen after you started, and then I looked back like, oh, that was a quick Fantune fight.
Yeah, he mostly Fantune kind of helped me because, well, it's kind of funny because sometimes Fantune control you and then help you. And on the first round, he kind of gave me a weird flame pattern, and it was hard for me to get in the appropriate amount of missiles to get a 2-round, and so I just accepted that I wasn't going to get one. But then luckily he gave me back-to-back fast on the second and third round, so that made it, pretty quick. It was basically kind of like a 2-round in terms of the amount of time it took, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So I'll ask both of you, for this match or for your tournament overall, what are each of you most proud of? And maybe most embarrassed about, or not embarrassed, but the biggest mistake you might have made in one of your matches.
I would say one of the things I'm most proud of is, obviously just being here. I don't think a lot of people expected me to be here just going off any percent time. But specifically, I put a lot of time into learning HBJ. And I guess I got it second try this race, but I've gotten really consistent at it. So, you know,
Please teach me.
it's a little thing, but I'm glad I can do it now.
And the worst part. I think maybe
Worst?
the thing you want to improve on the most from anything that happened in the tournament.
Honestly, I'm not really sure. I guess another thing that didn't really happen this race, but a lot of races before I would tunnel on doing a Brinstar cleanup when I was routing Deb, and like this time I got a row that could avoid it really well. But in the future, that is something I want to be more conscious of. But I mean, it worked, so maybe not.
How about you, Kipp?
Well, I think the thing I'm most proud of is not only winning the tournament. Like, this is actually something I'm really happy about because, you know, we only have about 2 community tournaments a year. And then, you know, there's some other tournaments that have popped up, you know, that people have put together. But to win like one of the sort of official SRL, you know, Super Metroid tournaments is something I'm pretty happy about because it might be the only one I ever win. But honestly, I think the main thing I'm proud of is going undefeated and not letting anybody that used a blat timer ever win. I just I feel personally responsible for all the people in the chat out there. So and then I think the thing I remember being the biggest mistake or whatever was do y'all remember when I thought I had the appropriate number of reserves, but I definitely did not?
Yep, I remember that.
I think it was Balthasar, if I recall correctly, who was in the race chat with me, and I was like, "Hey, am I done? Can I get the confirmation?" He was like, "Are you sure you have enough reserves?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, definitely." And then I pressed the pause button, and then like if y'all go back and look at the video, I just sit on the pause menu for like 20 seconds. Like it's basically just me staring at it, going, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just missed that." So that was the worst part for me.
Well, you learned from it then, since you didn't, for instance, skip the Norfair map station this time.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So, but yeah, you know, before we get done here, I just really want to say, you know, I say this at the end of every tournament, but for real, I think it's awesome that we have these community tournaments. Like, there's a ton of people behind the scenes taking up their time to, you know, stream or restream these things. There's a ton of people that are organizing the stuff and like setting up all the races. There's a ton of people doing commentary, and you know, this is really a lot of fun. So I just want to give a shout out to not only everybody who worked as part of the organization of any part of this tournament, but also everybody who participated. I don't care, you know, how much experience you have in Super Metroid. The fact that you were able to sign up and willing to play in front of people, I think that's a really big deal. So I'm really proud of everybody, and it was really cool to participate, you know, with all my Super Metroid colleagues.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well said. I do have one question, Kipp. Are you going to continue to veto dab in multi-category tournaments?
No.
I have a feeling your opponents might.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this was all just a long, like, I'm playing the long game here because the next time we have a multi-category tournament, I'm hoping people will veto dab, and then that'll let them not veto, like, you know, GT Classic or something like that.
Oh,
So,
there you
you know,
go.
it's all strategic.
I actually really hope we do a multi-category tournament again. That was fun.
I agree. That was a lot of fun.
I do. I have some ideas on how we could do it differently, but I think that'll be best saved for heated chat channels.
Yeah, I have to echo a little bit what you said, Kipp. Just these tournaments and all of us getting together and putting them together and just being able to play Super Metroid in front of a bunch of people that enjoy watching it just is so cool. And you know, all those people behind the scenes are so important. And we haven't shouted out the trackers yet, so I'm going to take this opportunity to do that. Link Force and Spaghetti Toastbook, who I think did more between the two of them did more of the tracking than pretty much anyone else. We had a few other semi-regulars for tracking, but those two did a lot of the tracking. And having tracked once myself, and only for one player, and these guys often do it for both players, it's a hard job. So we're really happy that they volunteered their time to do all that tracking, and especially tonight, so that Rumble and I didn't have to do it.
Single hardest job in the whole tournament. I do not envy the trackers. So the fact that they spent their time watching meticulously to get the tracking done is very much appreciated. So thank you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Seconded.
Yeah.
All right. As we finish up, unfortunately, we don't get a second match. It's the one downside to you're winning it already, Kipp. We don't get a second match, so that's going to be it for us. Either you or Derp or Kipp or Derp or Rumble as well, want to add anything else before we sign off?
Well, before we go, to your point, Tracy, I just want to give a shout out to every single human alive that I've seen in the last couple of days who was like, "Hey, man, hoping for a match number 2." It's like, come on, guys, you don't have to openly root against me. But no, in all seriousness, hope everybody out there really enjoyed it. And thanks again, Rumble and Tracy, for the commentary. Derp, it was great to play you twice. Congratulations again. And looking forward to the next tournament. We'll see what it's going to be.
Yeah, Kipp, you could have pulled the ultimate, BM and just stood in front of Plasma until Derp finished, and then played game 3.
Rumble, that you know me pretty well. Does that sound like something I would ever
That
do?
does not sound like it.
It doesn't sound like you at all.
And even waiting for him to finish and doing it right before he finishes doesn't sound like you either. So
right. So, but anyway, GG guys. Thank y'all so much, and we'll see you next mission.
Anything else you want to add, Derp, before we head off?
No, not really. Really excited to watch this one back, and that's about it.
All right. So I just like to thank everybody. Thank you to Rumblemans for commentating with me. I think we've done a lot of. I don't know if we've done one of these together this tournament, but we've certainly covered a lot of them. But always a pleasure to commentate with you. Again, thank you to the trackers, Spaghetti Toast Book, and Link Force, our runners, Kipp and Derp. Make sure you follow all these guys. I'll go ahead and put the command in here one more time. And they'll start beating me to it. But yeah, make sure you follow all these wonderful people. Thank you to Mr. Broadstone for setting things up for SpeedGaming behind the scenes, and to SpeedGaming itself, and to the organizers. I can't name them all, but I know Farrell and Balthazar took pretty much a lead role in most of these in most of the setting up for the organizers. So certainly want to shout those guys out. And thank you all for watching and for being in chat and all that. It's always a lot of fun to see the feedback in the chat stream as we're doing commentary.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout outs to everybody that helps organize these things. I had a ton of fun in the tournament, a ton of fun commentating. It's been great. Thank you for commentating. Well, actually, I'm commentating with you. You signed up first. Thank you for allowing me to join you. And I will just sign off with, please always make sure to be the person that your dog thinks you are. I will see you next tournament.
And as much as I have my own sign off, that's probably my favorite. But as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be.